Very good. Alright. So, I did my service project at the Goodwill. Now let's discuss it. A doctor is quick to say which exercises are best for the heart. But in my opinion, there is no exercise better for the heart than reaching down and lifting others up, as stated by John Holmes. I am blessed beyond my measure, and I truly enjoy serving and giving back to the community. It keeps me grounded and level-headed. I am Jerry Gossett, and for this class we all had to complete a service-based project, and I'm going to tell you about my time serving back to the community. While me giving this speech, you'll learn more about the Goodwill, my experience with the Goodwill, and the communication concepts that related. Within the next 7 to 9 minutes, I will tell you about my time with the organization, the communication concepts that relate, and the civil and ethical implications that will help me in the future. So now that I've discussed the topics I'm going to talk about, let's dive into it. As you can see, I completed my service project at the Goodwill. If anyone is unfamiliar with the Goodwill, it is a business that sells high-end items at a discounted price to help families. The mission of my organization, according to Goodwill.org, is that they emphasize 3 main key ideas, and they are: enhance the dignity and quality of lives of others, eliminating barriers to opportunities, and helping people in need. So I guess your question is, what did I do here? I volunteered here with a group of my students that are in CLC, and CLC is a scholarship program here on campus. And we all enjoyed our experience in giving back to the schools needed it most. It took place at the Goodwood Warehouse. It was very big, I felt very small, everything was organized in a very unorganized way, if that makes any sense. And it was good to see, where everything was shipped to before it was distributed to the stores. My task at the service were to pull the books out of those boxes, identify the books, and place them on the shelves that you see right behind the appropriate area. At the end, me and my team, we counted over 2,200 books, and for every 10th book that we counted, one was donated to a school of our choice. So we donated 220 books in that one setting. One of their missions is to enhance people's lives, and I help to advance the student's life by making sure one of these books gets into their hands. Getting a book into a child's hands can help them better their education, which I stand strongly for. And it also helps out the school who can't necessarily afford them. It is so important that we serve and give back to the community because that helped us in so many ways that we aren't even aware of. There are 2 communication concepts and a communication principle that connected to my service. Communication is key when working together, which leads me to flow. The definition, according to communication in a civil society, flow is being absorbed in a task while feeling competent to meet it. Lane, Abigail, and Goose, 2014, page 174. An example from my service that illustrates this concept is how in tune everyone was for the service project. We all knew it was for the kids, so we gave it our all to be sure that we could help out in any way. The second communication concept is short-oriented group. We are a group of people who don't hang out every day, but when we do come together, it's for a purpose and we get the job done right. The definition, according to communication in a civil society, short-term oriented group is a group that forms for a limited time to accomplish a particular goal and then disbands when the goal is reached. Lane, Abigail, and Goose, 2014, page 177. Alright, so that leads me to the relevant communication principle is that communication is simultaneous. The definition, according to the Survival Guide, is communication is the constant exchange of behaviors that can be interpreted by the other. Each person is a sender and receiver simultaneously. There are really no turns to take. Any structure we impose on that process is just that, an artificial structure. And that artificial structure makes the fact that the process is ongoing. According to the Department of Applied Communication, 2017 Speech 1300 Survival Guide NP. An example from my service project that illustrates its principles: everyone has to communicate with one another in order to get the job done right. My example illustrates this principle because you have to work together and communicate with one another, and it was the constant exchange of behaviors that got the job done. Now that I've discussed the communication concept and a communication principle, let's discuss how I can apply these to better my communication. Based on my service experience, I can use communication concepts and civil and ethical implications to improve my communication to help better my communication to the society. The way one communicates with their group can always be improved. One communication concept I could use to improve my communication would be cloning. The definition, according to Communication in a Civil Society, climate is the psychological atmosphere of a group. Lane, Abigail, and Hughes, 2014, page 181. I chose this concept based on my service experience because everyone should be on the same page when it comes to volunteering at a place such as this. I can use this concept to improve my communication by just letting everyone know we have a job to get done and we have to get it done right. It's for the kids. A civil or ethical implication I could use to improve my community would be concern for community. The definition, according to the Survival Guide, is committing to the practice of daily actions, interactions, and performances of engaged citizens that promote a co-created community experience. I chose this implication based on my service experience because we were a group of people who came together for a moment to serve the community. I can use this implication to improve my community by continuing to practice these acts of service throughout my community. Now that I've discussed all these concepts, let's wrap it up. I truly enjoyed my time serving at the Goodwill. I love everything they stand for, and helping put smiles on these kids' faces made all the hard work worth it. While I'm giving this speech, you have learned about the organization I volunteered for, my experience with the organization, and the communication concepts that related. Within the 7 to 9 minutes, I've told you all about my time with Goodwill, the communication concepts that are related to my projects, and the civil and ethical implications that will help me in the future. So I enjoy working out and being fit somewhat, but the best way to exercise my heart is through giving back and serving to the community.